This is Alma, chapter 50. Moroni fortifies the lands of the Nephites. They build many new cities. Wars and destructions befell the Nephites in the days of their wickedness and abomination. Morianton and his dissenters are defeated by teancum. Nephihah dies, and his son pahoran fills the judgment seat. And now it came to pass that Moroni did not stop making preparations for war or to defend his people against the Lamanites. For he caused that his armies should commence in the commencement of the 20th year of the reign of judges, that they should commence in digging up heaps of earth round about all the cities throughout all the land which was possessed by the Nephites. And upon the tops of these ridges of earth he caused that there should be timbers, works of timbers built up to the height of a man round about the cities. And he caused that upon those works of timbers there should be a frame of pickets built upon the timbers round about, and they were strong and high. And he caused towers to be erected and overlooked those works of pickets, and he caused places of security to be built upon those towers, and the stones and the arrows of the Lamanites could not hurt them. And they were prepared that they could cast stones from the top thereof according to their pleasure and their strength, and slay him who should attempt to approach near the walls of the city. Thus Moroni did prepare strongholds against the coming of their enemies round about every city and all the land. And it came to pass that Moroni caused that his armies should go forth into the wilderness. And they went forth and drove all the Lamanites who were in the east wilderness into their own lands, which were south of the land of Zarahemla. And the land of Nephi did run into a straight course from the east sea to the west. And it came to pass that when Moroni had driven all the Lamanites out of the east wilderness, which was north of the lands of their own possessions, he caused that the inhabitants who were in the land of Zarahemla and in the land round about should go forth into the east wilderness, even to the borders by the seashore. And he possessed the land. And he also placed armies on the south and the borders of their possessions, and caused them to erect fortifications that they might secure their armies and their people from the hands of their enemies. And thus he cut off all the strongholds of the Lamanites in the east wilderness, and yet also the west, fortifying the line between the Nephites and the Lamanites, between the land of Zarahemla and the land of Nephi, and the west sea running by the head of the river Sidon. The Nephites possessing all the land northward, even all the land which was northward of the land bountiful according to their pleasure. Thus Moroni with his armies did increase daily, because of the assurance of protection which his works did bring forth unto them, did seek to cut off the strength and the power of the Lamanites from the lands of their possessions, that they should have no power upon the lands of their possession. And it came to pass that the Nephites began the foundation of a city, and they called the name of the city Moroni, and it was by the east sea, and it was on the south by the line of the possessions of the Lamanites. And they also began a foundation for the city between the city of Moroni and the city of Aaron, joining the borders of Aaron and Moroni, and they called the name of the city or the land Nephihah. And they also began in that same year to build many cities on the north, one in a particular manner which they called Lehi, which was in the north by the borders of the seashore. Lehi. We do have a Lehi Valley here, just saying. And I am in the north, not far from the seashore. Okay, and thus ended this 20th year. And in these prosperous circumstances were the people of Nephi in the commencement of the 21st year of the reign of judges over the people of Nephi. And they did prosper exceedingly, and they became exceedingly rich, and they did multiply and wax strong in the land. And thus we see how merciful and just are all the dealings of the Lord to the fulfilling of all his words to the children of men. We can behold that his words are verified even at this time which he spake unto Lehi, saying, Blessed art thou and thy children, and they shall be blessed, inasmuch as they shall keep my commandments, they shall prosper in the land. But remember, inasmuch as they will not keep my commandments, they shall be cut off from the presence of the Lord. And we see that these promises have been verified to the people of Nephi, for it has been their quarrelings and their contentions, their murderings and their plunderings, their idolatry, their whoredoms, their abominations which were among themselves, which brought them their wars and their destructions. And those who were faithful in keeping the commandments of the Lord were delivered at that time, whilst thousands of their wicked brethren have been consigned to bondage, to perish by the sword and dwindle in unbelief and mingle with the Lamanites. And behold, there was never a happier time among the people of Nephi since the days of Nephi than in the days of Moroni. Even at this time, in the 21st year of the reign of the judges. And it came to pass that the 22nd year of the reign of the judges also ended in peace. Also the 23rd year. And it came to pass that in the commencement of the 24th year of the reign of the judges, there would also have been peace among the people of Nephi, had it not been for a contention which took place among them concerning the land of Lehi and the land of Morianton, which joined upon the borders of Lehi, both which were on the borders by the sea shore. For behold, the people who possessed the land Morianton did claim a part of the land of Lehi, and therefore there began to be a warm contention between them, insomuch that the people of Morianton took up arms against their brethren, and they were determined by the sword to slay them. But behold, the people who possessed the land of Lehi fled to the camp of Moroni and appealed unto him for assistance, for behold, they were not in the wrong. And it came to pass that when the people of Morianton, who were led by a man whose name was Morianton, found the people of Lehi had fled to the camp of Moroni, they were exceedingly fearful lest the army of Moroni should come upon them and destroy them. Therefore Morianton put it in their hearts they should flee to the land northward, which was covered with large bodies of waters, and take possession of the land which was northward. And behold, they would have carried this plan into effect, which would have been a cause to have lamented. But behold, Morianton, being a man of much passion, therefore he was angry with one of his maidservants, and he fell upon her and beat her much. Beat her much. And it came to pass that she fled and came over to the camp of Moroni and told Moroni all the things concerning the matter, and also concerning their intentions to flee into the land northward. Now behold, the people who were in the land bountiful, or rather Moroni, feared that they would hearken to the words of Moroni and unite with his people, and thus he would obtain possession of those parts of the land, which would lay a foundation for serious consequences among the people of Nephi, the consequences which would lead to the overthrow of their liberty. Therefore Moroni sent an army with their camp to head the people of Morianton to stop their flight into the land northward. And it came to pass that they did not head them until they had come to the borders of the land desolation, and there they did head them, and by the narrow pass which led by the sea into the land northward, by the sea on the west and on the east. And it came to pass that the army which was sent by Moroni, which was led by a man whose name was Teancum, did meet the people of Morianton. And so stubborn were the people of Morianton, being inspired by wickedness and flattering words, a battle commenced between them, in which teancum did slay Morianton and defeat his army, and took them prisoners, and returned to the camp of Moroni. And thus ended the 24th year of the reign of the judges over the people of Nephi. And thus were the people of Morianton brought back, and upon their covenanting to keep the peace, they were restored to the land of Morianton, and a union took place between them and the people of Lehi, and they were restored to their lands. And it came to pass that in the same year the people of Nephi had peace restored to them, that nephihah, the second chief judge, died, having filled the judgment seat with perfect uprightness before God. Nevertheless, he had refused Alma to take possession of the records, and those things which were esteemed by Alma and his father to be most sacred. Therefore Alma had conferred upon his son Helaman. Behold, it came to pass that the son of Nephihah was appointed to fill the judgment seat instead of his father. Yeah, he was appointed chief judge and governor over the people, with an oath and a sacred ordinance to judge righteously and keep the peace and the freedom of the people, and to grant unto them their sacred privileges, to worship the Lord their God, to support and maintain the cause of all his days, and to bring the wicked to justice according to their crimes. And behold, his name was Pahoran, and Pahoran did fill the seat of his father, and did commence his reign in the end of the 24th year over the people of Nephi.